Coming up on Look Today, well, an upcoming creative production featuring some of the area's artists will address the issue of mental illness. I've got details. And BOCES will host an open house to promote its contributions to the local workforce. More on that coming up. And the 2017 budget for e-waste initiatives in Warren County is approved. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Leslie Dana and Garland Nelson, and they're here to talk about the celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. that's happening this weekend. This is part 2 of our interview, which started yesterday. I also sit down with Lou Izzo. He's the owner and president of Select Sotheby's International Realty in Saratoga Springs, and he's here to talk about the real estate business in our community. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the second annual show to benefit the Warren Washington Association for Mental Health is happening April 18th at the Wood Theater. The show will highlight many facets of mental illness. Now, this year's title is Come As You Are. It's a great title. Auditions will be held in February for anyone who wishes to participate. Now, the WWAMH is committed to improving the quality of life for those who suffer from mental illness. And we spoke to Logan Beth Fisher. She's a director of Come As You Are.
So we're looking for musicians, poets, essayists, people who are willing to write about their experiences when it comes to mental illness. And that can be any kind of experience. It can be that you know a friend or you're a family member of someone who's with a diagnosis of mental illness, or it can be that you yourself have been diagnosed with a mental illness and that that you're able to speak about it in a an essay kind of way. So, and the whole purpose of it is to kind of open up a dialogue, because typically it's taboo to talk about mental illness, and we really want to try to end that. The more stories that are shared, the more easy it is to talk about it.
Wow, what an unusual concept, huh? Please contact them if you want to audition, okay? In other news, BOCES in Hudson Falls is hosting an open house event on January 17. That's coming up, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. And BOCES is a technical school, specializes in preparing students for immediate occupational work. Now, we spoke to Dr. Tarina Parker. She's the executive principal.
Important because that's what it's all about. It's an opportunity for kids to take a look at our programs and what we have to offer, and really an opportunity for them to assess whether it might be something that they're interested in. It's one thing to see it on paper or see it on a flyer, and another completely to be able to interact with the instructors and interact with some of the students, and also interact with some of our business and industry professionals, and even some colleges that we have represented.
You know, having spoken to Dr. Parker before, the whole idea of that close interaction between the teachers and the students, preparing them from day one to go out and get a job, that's pretty important. Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw some warmer temperatures. I think that probably means it hit 20. However, you probably noted, it's still very cold. Well, let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. Hope you've had a wonderful day so far. As we check out the First Look Weather Center, I'm your meteorologist, Brandon Boucher. And as we take a look at the U.S. right now, still a pretty active pattern going on right now. Around this low could push some more snowfall our way, but then back out on the west coast across portions of California right now, they're seeing some very heavy rainfall, some heavy snowfall in the higher elevations. That'll lead to some flash flooding risks there on the west coast over the next 24 hours. We're going to see some snow chances over the next 24 hours. You can see that warming air holding just off to the south, 36 in Albany, 24 in Burlington. So we are going to see a big time cool down occurring over a relatively short distance, and that'll get us just just to the freezing mark across the tri-north counties. 31 degrees for the low tonight. Could pick up 1 to 3 inches of snowfall before that south wind starts to warm us back up above freezing. That'll occur for the daytime tomorrow. In fact, we'll see some sunshine. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 means a high of 40 degrees. So getting a bit more mild. We'll see that for the short term as we're going to see yet another front with some more better chances of showers for Thursday. 45 degrees with a 70% chance of rain. And that cold front will knock us back down pretty dramatically heading into the weekend. Daytime high Saturday 24 degrees with a morning low all the way down to 8. So we're going to see a short-term warming trend and then a longer-term cooling trend over the next 5 days. Well, that's it from the First Look Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Well, thanks, Brandon. All right, back to the news. Well, 6 years ago, when New York State e-waste project was started, municipalities in our area were faced with a financial burden. Now, this is because the cost of recycling that toxic lead components in our electronics is not profitable. When Town Supervisor John Strauss spoke at the Queensbury Town Board meeting last night on the success of the 2016 budget for e-waste.
The changes made as a result of the above have helped New York's municipalities solve their e-waste struggle. The town of Queensbury now offers e-waste recycling at our 2 transfer station sites. And the program has been designed to be and is budget neutral.
Now, as you know, we tape those meetings, so you can catch the full meeting here on Look TV. Check our website, looktvonline.com, for listings. Up next, I sit down with Leslie Dana and Garland Nelson, and they're here to talk about the celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. that's happening this coming weekend. It's part 2 of our interview. Plus, I also sit down with Lou Izzo. Now, he's the owner and president of Select Sotheby's International Realty in Saratoga Springs. He's here to talk about the real estate business in our community and what's ahead for 2017. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple lookouts for tonight. First, every morning when I come in, I get some emails and I get phone calls from viewers commenting on different things. And there's a viewer in Queensbury. You know who you are. You never leave your name, but you did leave me a nice message yesterday, and you left me a nice message a while back as well. Viewer commented that he and his family watch us every night. So thank you. Whoever you are in Queensbury, thank you very much. I also want to mention that Dr. Christine Duffy, who's the president of SUNY Adirondack, is here tomorrow. As you know, Governor Cuomo is going around the state delivering his State of the State message, and she's here tomorrow to talk about any of the legislative agenda that will affect education and affect us up here in the North Country. So make it a point to see that. And just one other reminder that tonight on Look TV, it's a Queensbury Town Board meeting. It's a new one. We recorded it last night. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Be safe out there. The weather's getting ugly. I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.